hate that. Yeah, I know why. Yeah, because there was a phone there. That's the stone. You just I will get in the zoo. You don't have to be in this room. And the door is this the skinniest one? What? Yeah. Yeah. To me, it is. I want to play Roblox. My sister plays Arsenal, and I'm like, oh, let me try some Arsenal. And I tried it, and I Call of Duty. I used to play Call of Duty. I used to play Call of Duty, but now I think it's faded. Yeah, say that. No. Yeah, it's in the box. No way. I have to be neon uniform. So you have ever seen a pet? Oh. Calm down. Calm down. What? I know I forgot. What? But since you're think of you can't call it girls if you haven't tasted the product.
This is the first time I've ever bought a good anniversary present. Usually my anniversary presents are like duds. Like I bought him an electric set once to fiddle with the phones, and then he's like, thanks, I'll put it with my other two. All right. And we are coming back in 3, 2. All right, welcome to Writing Boys and Girls. Let me open this page. Today we're going to do some writing, believe it or not. Who'd have thunk it? So I'm having a hard time because I have people that are still talking while I'm talking. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. Writers, imagine this. A teacher like myself who taught all day long. We're exhausted. Our brains are fried by the end of the day. A teacher's brain, can you imagine, like we do a lot, right? Grading papers, having to fuss at kids for talking over them, teaching, performing, doing paperwork, all sorts of stuff. We are tired by the end of the day. So imagine if I had like a second job after this job where I had to go, I don't, thank goodness, but some teachers do. And imagine I have to go to the high school and they usher me into a basement, kind of dark and cold. And there's like a stack of here, I'm gonna hold this up for effect. There's like a stack of papers here, and each one is like a story that kids have written from a prompt. The test, I have to grade the test, basically. You listen to Adriana? Put that away. So I get into this basement, I sit down, and I'm reading all these prompts, these answers from children. And my eyes are starting to droop. That means I'm getting tired, because to be honest with you, a lot of these stories are kind of boring. They're the same thing over and over again. I think that the author says this because of this and this and this. The author means this because of this and this. Oh gosh, it's so hard to grade papers that are so boring and mundane. But then I get to a paper and I open it up and it says this. Marian Anderson stepped up to the microphone and the whole crowd went as quiet if she was all alone. We were all waiting on her. Wow. That kind of got my attention, didn't it? That wasn't boring at all. That was a good, what? Hook. That was a good hook. That makes me wake up a little bit. That makes me say, oh, this is something different. This is something interesting. And I want to read this paper. And you know what? When I get to the end of this paper, because it got me excited at the very beginning, I'm probably going to give that paper a better grade just from that hook being so enticing. let me tell you, boys and girls, this is what happens with your papers. When they grade your writing, it goes into a big stack, and a teacher has to sit there and grade them all. They have to read them all. The Spark's not going to grade it. It's going to be a teacher that has never met you and isn't going to say, oh, I like that student, I'm going to give them a good grade. They're not going to do that. They have never met you before. So they're going to get to your paper and they're going to read it and they're going to either think, oh, this is another boring paper, or they're going to think, wow, they hooked me. I can't wait to read the rest of this. So boys and girls, what we're going to talk about today is that anybody can have writing talent. It just comes from learning some small tricks that most people don't know. And when you take a test, it's important to show off that talent. There are two main ways to dazzle your reader, and I think it's a good idea to try both. You can practice them out loud, come in from outside and talk about what you did in ways that dazzle. Soon this will be easy peasy for you to do. First, write with sensory details. Remember we talked about that yesterday? Sensory details are what you hear, what you see, what you smell, what you taste, what you feel. I lost my place. One way to do that, to do what I just did when I wrote about Marian Anderson's concert. Well, I didn't write that, somebody else did. Just have your character stop what he or she is doing and take in the scene. Only you need to know from the passage and from your imagination what that scene will be. For a moment, imagine that you're stepping out of a side street into a big park in front of the Lincoln Memorial with all those people there. Pretend to be our narrator. Think about your senses. What am I seeing? What am I feeling? What am I hearing? What am I smelling? Probably a lot of people there. It's probably some BO, right? Maybe it's popcorn. Maybe it's something probably, I don't know. I'll start you off. I stepped out of the side street. I knew it was going to be a concert, but I didn't know it would be like this. All right, so that's your starter. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to think inside your head, Desiree. You're going to think inside your head, how can I add another sentence to this? I stepped out of the side street. I knew it was going to be a concert, but I didn't know it would be like this. What would you add? What would you add? Anybody got anything? Want to raise your hand and volunteer? I got anybody that wants to go? All right, go, Christina. Wait, Christina, there you go. We can't hear you.
There's confetti everywhere, and there's so many people singing and dancing.
All right, so she just described what you could see, right? That was using a sensory detail, what she saw. All right, Fernanda? Okay, Fernanda said it sounded amazing and I've never heard anything like this. Now they already used, but I didn't know it would be like this. So do you want to add that one too, or do you want to say I didn't know it was going to be like, and then give it like a metaphor? Or explain it specifically. Was it loud there? Was lots of people cheering and talking? What was going on? All right, so Fernanda said lots of people, like there was sounds everywhere and there's lots of people cheering and talking. All right, AJ?
I was just climbing on my thing. Like this.
Oh, I thought you had your hand raised. Yeah, I'm calling for people to raise their hand. Get your hand out of there. All right, go ahead, Angela. You're doing it again. I'm going to call on you again. Go ahead, Angela.
So it smells like hot dogs and barbecue. Wonder what they were cooking up in there.
Ooh, so she saw some street vendors. Good. All right. So writers, what I want you to do today, go ahead and open up your prompts for me. Go ahead and open up your prompts. On your schedule, the school schedule today, it says do the independent practice. Go ahead and open that up. It's from yesterday. Remember I told you only had to do one today? Or yesterday? I told you only had to do one. So open it up. We're going to work on it again today. All right. So what I want you to do, the very first thing I want you to do, boys and girls, is I want you to read the answer that you typed. Okay? I want you to read it to yourself with this mindset. Would I be boring the pants off of the proctor that's got to read this? Or do I know of some ways that I can dazzle my reader? Are there sensory details that I can add to this? Is there a way to hook the reader a little bit better so that they will be excited? Right from the get-go. Remember, that's the first couple sentences that you use. Look it over and see. And if you didn't write anything, you're well behind. Stephen, I don't see anything written on yours, so you're behind. What? Look through and see if you can add sensory details anywhere into your writing that you just did. Stephen, I need you to do your work. You're just sitting there waiting for the time to go by. I'm not going to let you go to 4th grade if you're going to act like that. You got to get your self in gear and start working. Yes, Desiree. Huh? The font that I have there is 11, so 12. Unless you're doing a little pop out word or something. It'd be a little bigger. But your font should be no bigger than 12. Your font should be no bigger than 12 here. Mohammed, sit up. Get busy. Stephen, you need to be typing, please. Read the passage, read the prompt, word for word, and then answer it. So that's what everybody should be working on right now at home too. Tammy, are you working on it? AJ, are you working on it? I'll give y'all about 5 more minutes. AJ, 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 where are you? AJ, AJ, AJ.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm looking at yours, and it looks like you answered a question and you didn't write a story.
Wait, is this to write a story?
When writing your own story.
Wait, I thought it was just supposed to answer the questions.
Not in writing. You're right. These are writing prompts. You need to actually create from the writing prompts. It's giving you direction in the writing prompts, and then you create a story from that. We're not answering questions. These aren't questions to be answered. Where? Well, fix it. NG. Let's see, Brian and Fernanda. I think both of y'all found it. Brian was trying to tell me that earlier. So I'm gonna give it to both of y'all. Brian, Fernanda, found mistake.
Miss Park,
Yes.
this is Aileen. What are we supposed to be doing?
What? You need to be in your active engagement and independent practice, and you're supposed to be fixing it and adding details. Christina, sit up and do your work. All right, what seems to be wrong? Stomach hurt, headache, what? Huh? Your tummy hurts? Here. All right, boys and girls, I want you to be very, very careful about this. When you're doing the writing, it has to be a story. You're not just answering a question. You have to be creating a story. So you need characters and detail. You can't just be like responding to a statement. You have to create a little story. Because I'm looking through these answers, and it's just, I mean, these writings, and I'm noticing a lot of people are just, you know. Adriana, that's a good start. That's a very good start. So Aileen, I'm looking at your active engagement from yesterday, and there's nothing in there. So did you not do your work yesterday? This work that you were supposed to do yesterday, you were supposed to start it yesterday. I don't see any work done. It's empty. I don't even see it. Do you have it open?
I think.
It says 3/24/2021 active engagement in independent practice. You were supposed to do it yesterday, and I don't see anything done. You were supposed to do at least one of these yesterday. Blank.
I think okay. Oh, yes, Miss Virgo. Do it.
All right. So you should have at least this first one done. Allison, you got yours worked on?
I was confused from tomorrow's work if we were supposed to write from Sweet Land of Liberty or we were supposed to write from our own story.
Sweet Land of Liberty, honey. The prompt, it tells you what to do. It says, tell the story of the concert if rain and cold had made it impossible for people to be outside. Use details from the story when writing your own story. Alexa, on the first day, how many days long was this concert? Hey, if you want to make it 8 days long, you can. I just don't. I'm not sure if it was 8 days long in reality though, since it's nonfiction. It was only 1 day long. Alicia, capitalize Marion. Are you in your work? I'm gonna start just giving this work to y'all on paper. Allison, you can get busy. All right, shh. Focus, please. Okay. Ooh, it was a cold, windy day, and a young lady called Marion Anderson stood on a stage ready to sing. Brian, what are these? What is that? Why do you have a period and a question mark on each one of these? Can you go back and do your story, please? Brian. Now you can do better than this. Delete all this and create a story. Christina.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
working.
I don't see anything on the first one. Like it's all blank. What did you do yesterday?
Huh?
What did you do yesterday?